Jurors are back in the court proceeding. Defendant and counsel, please be seated, everyone. Please continue.
Doctor, if you can come back over here next to the video screen. So, Doctor, I'm going to refer you to your file number 1004086, the autopsy of Jeffrey Kokab.
Yes, sir.
And was Officer Kokab's body also measured during the autopsy process?
Yes, it was.
And what was his length or height and his weight?
The measured length was 5 feet and 8 inches, and the weight was 160 pounds.
Okay. And were you able to come to an opinion as to the cause of death of Officer Jeffrey Kokab?
Yes, I was.
And what's your opinion as to that cause of death?
His cause of death was a gunshot wound of head with perforation of skull and brain. And the mother was homicide as well.
I'm going to show you states F23 and ask, what does this photograph show?
It shows the left side of the head of Sir Kokab.
Okay.
And what you see there is a gunshot wound in the cerebellum skull.
Okay. And is that an entrance gunshot wound?
Yes, sir.
And was there an exit gunshot wound?
Not in the skin.
Okay. And again, was the process followed where the hair was removed to reveal the characteristics of the exterior wound?
Yes, sir.
States F17. And what does that photograph show, Doctor?
This is the entrance wound after the scalp hair was shaved around the wound to disclose the skin injury. As you can see, you have a typical entrance wound here, round perforation with marginal abrasion around it. And all this is gunpowder stiffening or gunpowder tattooing, similarly to the previous case. Except here it's more dispersed, so it tells you that the distance was farther.
Okay. So the distance between the muzzle and the wound in this case, in your opinion, was a little bit further because of the more wider distribution of the stippling?
That is correct, sir.
And again, no sooting in this case?
No, sir.
Okay. So would your opinion in this case also be that the muzzle was beyond 6 inches but under 2 feet?
Yes, sir.
When you said earlier that there is I think you called it a tissue deficit, are you talking about the actual tissue where that hole is that was basically punched out?
Right, that's typical for entrance wounds. See, with exit wounds, when the bullet leaves the body, it pushes the skin from inside, and then skin tends to break along the Langerhans lines, which are the lines of predominant collagen direction in the dermis. So the perforation will be either slit-like or spell-like. It's not going to be round perforation, and usually there is no tissue deficit, meaning that you can reoppose the margins together. That's impossible in this case, so it's a typical entrance wound.
Let me ask you again, in talking about the permanent wound path or permanent wound cavity, what anatomical structures did that involve, and what anatomical structures did the bullet penetrate?
The bullet penetrated the skin, the subcutaneous tissue, ganglionoponerosis. That's a fibrous structure that covers the skull and allows you to move your skull above the skull. And then the skull itself with inward level perforation, and then dura mater and the brain. In this case, the bullet traveled to the opposite side of the head, to the right side of the head, caused comminuted fracture in the skull with exit perforation in the bone, but it did not go past the skull. So the bullet was recovered from the ganglionoponerosis, the skull on the right side of the head.
So the bullet actually reached the skull on the other side of the head and caused fracture?
Yes.
Okay.
This is why I call this with perforation of skull and brain, whereas in the previous case, I call it with penetration of skull and brain.
Okay.
That's a subtle difference, but
Yes, sir.
that's basically what it is.
I want to show you a couple photos here. This is states F12. Let me come back out. And I just want you, I'm going to ask you in a minute about these red areas over the victim's eyes and this blood coming out of his left ear, and then showing you states F22, and we see some blood associated with his right ear. First of all, I'd ask, what are, and I'm just going to try to show both these photographs at the same time, what were those wounds or those injuries caused by?
A gunshot wound of the head.
Okay.
It's all consequence of this gunshot wound of the head. The orbital hemorrhages are pretty much similar mechanism to the ones that you saw previously, and that is structures in the anterior cranial fossa and the bone overlying the eyes inside. Whereas the hemorrhage in the ears is due to a transverse fracture through the skull base. That's very, very severe injuries, uniformly lethal. And it goes across the whole skull base through the petrous ridges. These are portions of the temporal bones that host the ears, the inner ears. And of course, from this you have connection to the middle ears, and if the eardrum is broken, and usually the blood shows in the external ear, and that's what it is.
Are those considered associated injuries that were caused by that shock wave effect that we talked about earlier, the temporal cavity?
That's correct, sir.
Okay.
I mean, you see, that's I can assume that's like the same gun and similar ammunition, but we have some individual variation, a slight change of the angle, a slight change of the distance, and variation in the thickness of skull and other structures will cause a range of possibilities. And what you see here is a pretty much similar wound, but a little bit different injury. In case of Officer Coker, he was in asystole, he had no heartbeat, had been right onto the hospital. His injuries were more severe, and so he couldn't have been an organ donor because he had no heartbeat. So his external examination was actually performed on 29 of June. So then his body was taken by the procurement agency because he was a donor of tissues. And his tissues were donated for transplantation. And then the body was returned to medical examiner's office, and the internal examination followed on the next day of that year.
Okay. So this autopsy was conducted on June 30th, but your initial external examination occurred on the 29th before the collection of some parts of his body.
Yes, skin, long bones. These are the tissue. It can be procured up to 24 hours, if I remember correctly. And hence, if we have a donor of the tissues, like skin, cornea, bones, we do an external examination immediately, regardless of time. I will come and do it, so the body can be taken for the procurement of tissue.
So that's 24 hours from his death?
Well, I think that this is the time frame that they have, the life of tissue procurement agency.
And what tissues were procured from Officer Kokab's body?
Long bones, skin, cornea of the eyes, full thickness skin grafts. These are not just pieces of skin with dermatome. It's a full thickness skin with subcutaneous. This gives a graft like this is a life-saving thing for a burn victim.
And the long bones would be the bones of the legs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did the harvesting of those portions of his body affect in any way or impair your ability to determine the cause and manner of death?
No, sir.
All right. And this wound path going through Officer Kokab's head, the permanent wound cavity, were you able to determine a direction of travel as it
Yes.
refers to the standard anatomic position?
Yes, I was. And I was able to be more precise here because there was a skull exit perforation on the other side, so you can actually measure the distances and you can say how the path looked like. The path was left to right, front to back, and downwards.
Okay. This wound was a fatal wound, obviously. Was it a survivable wound?
No, sir.
These wounds that these two officers suffered, would they have caused loss of consciousness fairly quickly?
Immediately.
In Officer Kokab's case, did you recover a projectile from his head?
Yes, sir, I did.
I'm going to show you some photographs. States F-13. Can you tell the jurors what that shows?
That's the base of the bullet, and you can see that the jacket is folded in similar fashion as in the previous one. There is still lead in it, so it's not separate. It's in one piece.
So this is a one-piece projectile with the jacket and the lead core attached.
Yes.
Okay, states F-14. Just another photograph with measurement.
Yes.
Okay. And then states F-15. Is that the top portion of the bullet?
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you real quick, Doctor. When the projectile was taken out of Officer Kokab's head and the jacket and the bullet and associated fragments were taken out of Officer Curtis's head, were they placed into envelopes that were labeled with the medical examiner's office case number for those cases?
Yes, they are routinely placed in, photographed and placed in an envelope, sealed in this envelope, and the chain of custody is initiated, and then it is given to the police representative.
I'm going to show you from states G1. Does that small envelope look familiar to you?
Yes, this is our standard envelope, this is our label, and this is our evidence tape, see, Hillsborough County Medical Examiner.
And is, in this case, is Officer Curtis's name on the label?
That's correct.
Is the date on the label?
Yes,
And is your MEO case number on the label?
that is correct.
And can you see your initials somewhere on
No, but it's, the chain of custody requires everybody to initial it, so it's crowded.
This has been to the firearms lab and back, so there's
Yes, I mean, every single person who handles evidence has to write his name into chain of custody file and then reseal this and reinitial this, so it makes it obscure.
Publishing states G1, smaller envelope for So just that white label is placed on that envelope at the medical examiner's office?
That's our standard label, yes.
Okay. And that number in the upper left-hand corner of the white label is your MEO number?
Yes, sir.
And then Officer Curtis's last name and the date of collection?
Yes.
And a similar process was followed in Officer Kokab's case?
Yes, sir.
May I have one moment, Judge? Judge, I have no further questions of Dr. Kostowski at this time, and I just ask you can return to the witness stand.
Counsel, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. No problem. Please, court, counsel. I'm
Do you
sorry.
want these here or the photos?
No, I don't. I'm not going to use them. Thank you. Good afternoon. Feels like afternoon. Good morning, Doctor. How are you?
Just pull the microphone, Counsel.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
is that better?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Kostowski, I just have a few questions to clarify some of the points that you've been talking about. In both these cases, the young men were, the cause of death was gunshot wound to the head.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you talked about the nature of these wounds. Did you say, am I correct in thinking you said that in each case, each of these young men would have been rendered unconscious instantaneously upon being shot?
Yes, you are correct, sir.
Okay. You talked about the temporary expanded wound channel. Just again, for clarification purposes, the permanent wound channel would be the hole that penetrates through the structure.
Yes.
When the bullet passes through.
Yes.
And that remains. But you talked about tissue being elastic and there being a great deal of energy imparted which would reverberate to other parts of the brain.
Yes.
Okay. Would that be kind of similar, for example, to if you had an asteroid strike the Earth, and those things have happened, I understand, from archaeologists, it may make a great big crater where it actually hits, but the force of it will spread destruction for miles and miles and miles around because of the tremendous energy that's imparted. Is that similar to what you're talking about?
I think it is.
Okay. So when a person like these two young men is shot in the head like that, it's not just the structures through which the bullet passes that are damaged. That massive energy that's imparted causes hemorrhages and tissue destruction throughout the brain. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that would include the brain stem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in both these cases of these two young men, they would have been brain dead almost instantaneously. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I think you mentioned that that doesn't mean necessarily that the heart stops beating or that even respiration stops, especially if a person's healthy.
Well, respiration usually stops, but respiration is a relatively easy thing to restore with
Right.
the external respirator. With circulation, sometimes it persists due to the automatic beat of the heart. Sometimes it doesn't. And just like in these two cases, in the first case, in case of Officer Curtis, he had heartbeat. Now, the Officer Kokab did not.
I see. So Officer Kokab's injuries were more massive in the sense that it affected the part of the brain that controls heartbeat. Is that what you're saying, basically?
In both cases, the structures affecting the heartbeat were damaged, except Officer Curtis's heart kept beating whereas the other one did not. And why is that difference? This I don't know. I don't think anybody knows.
So it'd be some individual factor that you really cannot pinpoint. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Now, I believe you said that the wound tracks on the two young men were different, slightly different. Did I hear you correctly to say that the injury to Officer Kokab was in the left temporal region? Is that accurate?
Well, what I said was that the trajectories were similar. Entrance wounds were in similar location in the left posterior temporal parietal region of the head, so behind and above the left ear, if you will. And what I said was that in case of Officer Curtis, I was not able to see the deviation front to back or back to front or upwards or downwards. And the reason being that the projectile separated, and there was just core traveling through the brain, and it did not penetrate skull on the other side. So now I didn't have the opportunity of measuring the entrance and exit perforations in the skull, and hence I cannot say whether it is deviated to the back or to the front, up or down. All I can say is left to right. Now in the other case, since I had a skull injury on the opposite side, I can actually take measurements and determine the angle and say, and this is why it was a little bit more precise. That's all.
Yeah, I appreciate that explanation. So in the case of Officer Kokab, the wound track was left to right, front to back, and slightly downward.
Yes.
In the case of Officer Curtis, left to right, front to back, or back to front.
Right. And no discernible deviation upwards, downwards.
No deviation upwards.
I just cannot tell. There might be some deviation. I mean, the deviation downwards and front to back was not with a great angle. You can look in my report and see the measurements. The difference is less than an inch. So they were similar.
Just so the jury is clear, because I get confused about this, it appeared from the photographs that the wounds to Officer Kokab were more forward toward the front of the head in the, what I would call the temporal region. Am I accurate about that?
Yes.
And the wounds to Officer Curtis were more toward the back, which is the parietal area?
Parietal is above temporal.
Up here?
See, it's temporal, parietal,
I see, okay.
and the rear is occipital. I mean, both wounds were still in the temporal-parietal region. One was a little bit more posterior than the other, but the region remains the same in both cases.
Similar region, but not exactly the same.
Of course.
Okay. And when you use those words temporal and parietal, they're named for the bones of the skull. Is that right?
Well, that's how we call regions on the head. Anatomically, we refer to the underlying bones.
With regard to the distances, I think you've adequately explained that in both cases, because of the stippling and the lack of soot, you can project the range, an approximation of the range, from between 6 inches and 2 feet. That is the distance from the muzzle of the gun to the person's head.
Yes, I just want you to understand, sir, that this is a very rough assessment, that it's not very scientific.
Sure.
This needs to be examined by a firearm examiner to give you the correct distance. They can even go further. They can enhance this chemically, so they can be a lot more precise than this. This is just based on the multiple observations of wounds. That's all it is.
But in both cases, it would be what for most of us would be a rather close wound, close in distance.
Yes.
Okay. Were there any other injuries on the body other than, I believe you were shown a picture of an abrasion on, I believe it was Officer Curtis's arm, is that correct?
Right, I think it was contusion, actually. I would have to look.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It was, in any case, very superficial injury. And it can be caused by multiple things. It might be associated with collapse, might be associated with somebody trying to move the body, but the arms, I'm not able to tell you.
So it's impossible to tell whether it was inflicted or whether it happened, for example, when the officer fell against the door or fell on the ground?
It could have been before the whole incident happened. It could have been there.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So,
Okay. Give me just 1 second. I'll pick them. May I have just a moment, John?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Krastowski. I appreciate your time, sir. I have no further questions. Well,
That's okay. That wound to Officer Curtis's arm, is it your opinion that occurred sometime around the time of death?
yes, sir.
And would that have been consistent with individuals picking Officer Curtis's body up by grabbing him by the arms and dragging him,
Yes.
or possibly lifting him to get him onto a stretcher?
Yes, sir.
In your autopsy report, do you obtain and list the victim's date of birth?
Yeah.
What is Officer Curtis's date of birth?
May I have a look?
Yes, sir.
His date of birth was October 3, 1978.
1970?
78,
I'm sorry, 1978. And what age did you have him listed at that time?
31 years.
31 years old?
Yes.
What about Officer Kokab?
He was born on November 6, 1978, and his age was also 31 years.
You have one moment, Judge?
Yes.
Everything else, Thank you, Dr. Emmett, for the question.
Okay, this is Dr. B. released for subpoena state.
Yes, sir.
Counsel? Yes. Dr. released for subpoena. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please call your next witness state.
Your Honor, we ask the court to read the stipulation the defense and the state is entering into.
Members of the jury, this next matter for your consideration is what we call a stipulation stipulation is simply the agreement between the state and the defense regarding certain facts over which there's no dispute, and you would accept this as accurate, true, and correct. And we'll have this document with you, and we'll go back to Judge. It's hereby stipulated by and between the defendant, Mr. Dontae Morris, and the state of Florida, that Officer David Curtis and Officer Jeffrey Kokab, naming the indictment in this case, were found shot on June 29, 2010, at the intersection of 50th Street and 23rd Avenue in the city of Tampa in Hillsborough County, Florida, and that both were transported to Tampa General Hospital, where they were later pronounced dead, and that an autopsy was performed on each of their bodies on June 30, 2010 by Dr. Leszek Krasowski. That is a stipulated set of facts, and you to accept that as true and correct, and you will have this document with you when you deliberate. State, please call your next witness.
State will call Detective Mike Kurlangitis.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this cause be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I did. Right this way, sir.
Sir, please tell us your full name and then spell both first and last.
Mike Kurlangitis, K-I-R-L-A-N-G-I-T-I-S.
Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you employed?
City of Tampa,
In what capacity?
homicide detective.
How long you worked for the city of Tampa?
18 years.
With the police department?
Yes,
How long you been in homicide detective?
4.
Were you in homicide on June 29, 2010?
Yes, I was.
Did you become involved in the investigation of the deaths of officers David Curtis and Jeffrey Kokab?
Yes, I did.
I just have a few questions for you about your part of the investigation. Did you at one point obtain Officer Jeffrey Kokab's uniform shirt and pants and take possession of them for further disposition?
I did.
Did you also obtain buckle swabs from either Officer Holder, Detective Holder, or Detective Duran that came from Officer David Curtis and Officer Jeffrey Kokab?
Yes, I did.
Did you take those items along with a copy of the dash cam video recording from Officer Curtis's car? Did you take them somewhere?
I did. I took them to DNA laboratories down in close to Miami.
Okay, and did you do that within a day or two of the murders?
Yes, July 1st.
July 1st, so 2 days later?
Yes.
And how did you go about traveling down there?
Helicopter.
Okay. And did you meet with individuals from the laboratory there and present that evidence to them?
I did.
Did you also allow them to view the video so that they could see the dynamics of the crime and the possible contact between the defendant and the victims?
Yes, where the defendant would have landed on one of the officers.
Okay. May I have one moment, Judge?
Yes, sir.
I have no other questions at this time, Judge.
Any questions, counsel?
No questions, Your Honor.
Did this witness be released, state?
No, Your Honor, we'd ask to be retained.
Detective, you're still under subpoena. They don't know if they need you in the building, but you're still under subpoena. If they need to, get up with you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Please call your next witness, state.
State will call Detective Charles Masucci. Can we approach, Judge? Yes.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony given is called to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am. Right this way.
Please tell us your full name and this spell both first name and last name.
It's Charles Masucci, C-H-A-R-L-E-S. Last name is M-A-S-S-U-C-C-I.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you, I'm sorry, how are you employed, sir?
I'm employed with the City of Tampa Police Department
And how long have you worked for the City of Tampa Police Department?
since February of 1990.
And where are you currently assigned?
I'm currently assigned to the Homicide Bureau.
And what is your position with the Homicide Bureau?
I've recently been promoted to a sergeant.
Of the Homicide Unit?
Yes, sir.
Back in June of 2010, were you assigned to the Homicide Division?
Yes, sir.
And were you acting at that time as a detective in the Homicide Unit?
Yes, I was assigned and working as a detective in June of 2010.
All right. And are you certified by the state of Florida as a law enforcement officer?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to call your attention to June 29, 2010. Did you have occasion on that date in the early morning hours to respond to a homicide scene in the city of Tampa?
Yes, sir.
And was that the homicide scene involving the shooting deaths of officers Curtis and Cocab?
Yes.
When you arrived there, were there other officers there?
Yes, we were probably 3 to 4 hours into the investigation, so there was a command post established. There was a significant amount of officers involved at that point.
And through the morning hours, did you discuss this case with other detectives in the homicide unit?
Yes, I received an initial briefing from Detective Houston and Detective Holder.
On June 30th of 2010, did you meet with a young lady named Yaneli Akin?
Yes.
And did you interview her?
Yes.
What time of day was that?
The exact time is in my report. I'll just refer to my supplement to...
It'll refresh your memory, please.
Yes, sir. I arrived at the apartment at approximately 40 minutes after 41 hours, and that's when I started the interview.
During the interview process, did you show her a group of photographs?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is that commonly called a photo pack?
Yes, that's our vernacular for that.
What is a photo pack or a photographic lineup?
It's a photographic representation of a lineup. We pick 6 pictures in this specific case of similar characteristics, and we show them in an array, which is 3 pictures at the top and 3 pictures at the bottom.
All right. And I'm going to publish States J, which has already been admitted into evidence. Can you see that from where you're sitting?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Is that the photo pack that you showed Ms. Keene?
Yes, that is the photo pack.
All right. And you said when this is created, you try to find individuals with similar physical characteristics as the suspect?
Yes.
Okay. Would that include race?
Yes, that would be the first, gender and race, the first two considerations.
Gender and race. And how about skin tone?
Yes, since people have such a variation in skin tone, we try to match it light, medium, dark, red tones and things of that nature.
Do you try to get close in hairstyle or hair length?
Yes.
And facial hair?
Yes.
Okay. And why do you do all of that? Why do you do those things?
To give us the best opportunity for a truthful identification.
Okay. Is it also is that process also followed to make sure that the identification is fair to the suspect?
Yes.
All right. And in this case, did you have a photograph of Mr. Dontae Morris in this photo pack?
I did.
And where was he located in the photo pack?
For me, it would be the number 5 position, the bottom middle.
Bottom middle, so this right here?
Yes.
All right. And when you showed this photo pack to Miss Keene, what did you ask her to do?
When I show a photo array or photo pack, I have pretty much a standard set of questions, and I ask if there is anybody in the photo pack that, in this case, she recognizes, and then once I get a positive affirmation from her or anybody else that they recognize somebody, I have them tell me how do they recognize them.
Do you in any way suggest to them who to pick or to select?
No, that would be unethical.
Okay. And in this situation, did Miss Keene, was she able to identify one of these photographs?
Yes, she was.
And which one did she which of the photographs did she identify?
The defendant in this case, the bottom middle position, number 5 to me.
And did you have her circle the photograph?
Yes.
Did you have her initial below the photograph?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see that from where you're sitting?
I could see the writing. I would have to get closer to read the exact verbiage to you, but I can recognize her signature.
Let me bring it up to you. States J is what I'm showing you. On the top of the photo pack, have you dated it and put the time of the identification?
Yes, specifically Detective Sandell wrote that, who was with me. That's his handwriting. But that was for the accuracy and of recalling when this occurred.
And what is the date and time that's written on the top of the photo pack?
It's 6/30/10, which is June 30th, 2010, as in military times, 14:55, which is 2:55 in the afternoon p.m.
Okay. And then on the bottom, what did Ms. Keene write on the bottom? In fact, did you have her sign on the bottom?
Correct. Initially, I had her put her initials, which is YK, which to identify the circle that she drew.
Right.
And then the handwriting is in her handwriting. It says, "Seen him on the back road with a group of people. He had ran by my house when the people was shot. Seen him at the shell store." These are all of the places that she recognized them. And then, of course, there is her signature with the X. And again, Sandell drew the line in the X for her.
So she was indicating in response to your question where she had recognized him from.
Yes, if you remember, I like to ask if they do identify anybody, and once they say yes, to provide me all the specifications in which they recognize the individual. And she, in this case, had 3.
All right. Did you have an opportunity to listen to States U1, which was a recorded phone call from the jail to someone outside of the jail?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And in that phone call, and I know I'm kind of bouncing around here, did you recognize, first of all, did you recognize Mr. Morris's voice, Dontae Morris?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And had you listened to other phone calls that he had made?
Yes.
Okay. And had you become familiar with his voice?
Yes.
Right. And in the phone call, does Mr. Morris, and he's calling from the Hillsborough County Jail, is that right?
Yes.
Does he initially call someone who's related to him?
Yes.
And who was that?
Callaway, Dwayne
Callaway?
Dwayne Callaway, who I believe is a stepbrother.
Okay. And you recognize Mr. Callaway's voice?
Yes.
And at some point, do they then contact another individual?
Yes, there's the process called three-way calling.
Okay, and how does that work, a three-way call?
That's my understanding. If I call a cell phone, the person on the line I'm calling can open up the line to a third individual. So basically you're having a group conversation, and it's actually very common now.
Okay. And the individual they called, was that an individual by the name of Javante Denard?
Yes, I initially knew him as Pedro, and I've met him and I know him as Javante Denard.
And having met him and you spoke with him,
Yes.
did you recognize his voice?
Yes.
Do you have any problems recognizing Mr. Morris's voice or Dwayne Callaway's voice or Javante Denard's voice?
No, sir.
Right. And at some point, does the defendant or his brother, Dwayne Callaway, did they contact a fourth person in this phone call, a female?
Yes.
And is that Tiffany Price?
Yes.
And have you spoke with Tiffany Price?
Yes.
Did you recognize her voice?
Yes, I did.
All right. And through her, were they able to then get onto the phone with another young lady?
Yes.
And who was that?
That was Ashley Price.
And did you recognize Ashley Price's voice?
Yes.
And were you familiar with her voice?
Sorry?
The reapproach, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Detective Masucci, I'm going to go back. Dwayne Callaway, have you had contact with him and spoke with him?
Yes.
And were you familiar with his voice, having met him and spoke with him?
Yes, sir, I was.
And Javante Denard, the individual you said you knew initially as Pedro?
Yes.
Have you had contact with him?
Yes.
In-person contact and spoke with him?
Yes, I have.
And were you familiar with his voice when you listened to this recorded phone call from the jail?
Yes, I was.
And Tiffany Price and Ashley Price, have you met with them both individually and spoke with them on numerous occasions?
For both, yes. Ashley in particular I've spoken to more than Tiffany, but I've talked to both of them enough. I feel comfortable recognizing their voices.
Okay. Any difficulty in recognizing their voices?
No, there hasn't.
Okay. And after contacting Ashley Price through her sister, does the defendant, Mr. Morris, then speak with her?
Yes, they do have a conversation.
Okay. Your Honor, I would move to publish. Did I leave that? What did I leave? States U1.
Excuse me, Counsel. I don't recall if that's been admitted, has it?
It wasn't admitted.
Oh, okay. My mistake. Okay.
U1 is received.
Yes, sir. If it hasn't been, I'll tender it now.
Madam Clerk, is it received?
Yes, sir.
U1 is in evidence.
Council wants to get notice of the
U, as in uniform, what? Let me move my stuff.
Maybe.
You have $11.25. Hello, this is a free call from an inmate at Hillsborough County Jail. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press 2. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Patrick, what's good? What's good? You on the road? Yeah, man. I don't have a motherfucking side move and shit, fat ass. Huh? I have a motherfucking fat ass side move. Who is side? You know, Mr. Pierre nephew. Oh, all right. Oh, you helping to move? Yeah. Oh. Ain't nothing wrong with that, yeah. What's good with you though, man? Everything good?
Detective, that person who just spoke, is that the defendant?
Yes, that's the defendant, Dontae Morris.
And the other person is his brother, or half-brother, or step-brother, Dwayne Calloway?
Dwayne Calloway, that is correct. The deeper of the two voices.
Yeah, this thing he's trying to get a nigga back in the house and shit. My wife trying to get a nigga back in the house and shit. Why you want to take your ass back in the house? I'm gonna go back in the house, man. I'm gonna go back in the house. Go in the house, man. Sit down and lick you some poom poom. Yeah. Yeah, man. Ain't nothing major to a player, man. Everything good, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Shit, so, damn. What my man work? Yeah, I believe she at work right now. Oh. Yeah. What you had? You got Pedro number? Yeah, I got a number. Hit his ass up real quick. Hold on. You on here? Yeah. Alright. Yo. Hey, what's happening, Nick? What's good, Nick? What's good with you?
Okay, at this point, who have they contacted?
This is the person I initially identified as Pedro, but Javante Denard, through that process of three-way calling. And
Go ahead.
What's going on? I'm kicking it, man. Hey, you hear me? Yeah. I need you to make a few moves, man. No problem, my nigga. I've been screaming that D-Lo, but that feet, nigga. And you remember who you and your lady had them put me down with when I got out? Yep.
Javante Denard and Tiffany Price based on your investigation, are they in a relationship?
They have a child together, and at this point they were cohabitating in an apartment complex that I was at.
Hey. Yeah, man, she unrighteous right now, man. Yeah? But listen, it's not her fault, though, you smell me? Yeah. Something bad to her got her doing it, you smell me? Yeah. Yeah, so the only thing I need is for, like, you to holler at her and let her know. See, the only thing she have to do is, when I tell my attorney to go and talk to her, she tell him the truth. You smell me? Because she's saying that she done known me for years, and I mean all type of foolishness. No shit. She telling the people we done had sex, and I ain't even got a chance to get a hold of her. Yeah, I wish I did. Man, what the fuck? Yeah, all type of dumb shit, but I know why she doing it though. I can't be mad at her. You smell me? Because I know they done probably threatened her to take her children, all type of dumb shit. You smell me? And you remember my fake baby mama? Damn. Yeah, man, who? The fat one. Fuck. Your family. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she unrighteous all the way through and through, though. Okay. Ain't no need to be, you smell me? Yeah. A nigga just need them to, when my attorney come talk to them, for them to just tell the truth. You smell me? That shit, they the only thing holding me up in here. That's it? That's the only thing that's holding me up. They done went to people and people got people lying on me and stuff. You smell me? Yeah. My attorney and them, the only thing they have to do is go and talk to them. When they talk to them and they tell them the truth, they can bring that shit to court like, man, this is what the police been doing. You smell me? They've been making all these people lie on this man. You smell me? Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I should have brought my, the dude's phone number out of the thing, but I didn't bring it out, because I didn't know I was going to be able to get in touch with you. Yeah. I'm going to see, you ain't got her number? Shit, matter of fact, let me look through my phone. What's been good with you, man? Where the babies at, man? The who? The babies. Oh, man, listen, man. I've been fucking a lot, but I ain't been worried about the bitches, man. I've been really like in snap mode, man. I've been in snap mode, man. I've been trying to keep shit in motion, man. You gotta just vibe, man, and get the guap, man. That's all you need is money, man. What's up with your little man? Man, little nigga walking and all, man. Yeah, man, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Yo, man, I gotta make sure I scream at her, man. I got to. I got to. That's who you supposed to take the letter to, man. That's who? See, hey, he didn't tell me none of that. He was telling me like he didn't know where to go. I'm like, that's why I just told him to holler at you and show you the name on the letter. You smell me? See, he didn't do none of that. He didn't show me no type of name or none of that. I'm asking him. Man, we gonna get this here taken care of so I can get up out of here, man. This shit here, man. Oh yeah, we most definitely gonna get that taken care of, man. We most definitely gonna get it taken care of. You know, however situation, I mean, with my baby mama, sister, whatever, however. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is, so we most definitely gonna get you up out of there. We most definitely gonna get you up out of there. Man, you smell me? I want to really talk to her and bring her to visitation, let her know, you smell me? I ain't mad at her or nothing, you smell me? Because it's true. I'm mad at her and all type, I can't be mad.
Detective, when Mr. Denard says his baby mama's sister, is that Tiffany Price's sister?
Yes.
And who is that?
Ashley Price.
Okay.
That you smell me, because I know why she, you know what I mean? Yeah. I can't get mad at her about nothing like that. That's what you know what I mean? I just want to have sex with her. Now she just owe me some pussy. That's real. That is. It's true. It's true. It's true. But you ain't got the number. Nigga, you want to talking to me, nigga, hold on. You can't talk to me while I'm looking in the phone. Hold on. Hey, Luke. Yeah. Yo. Yeah. Call this one here, but you have to get it from baby mama. You have to get it from her. All right. And I'm gonna call her. And I'm gonna call her as soon as I get out the phone and let her know everything tenfold. Just give it. You know what I'm talking about? Give you the number. Yeah, I'm gonna have her call her on three-way. She gonna call her. Okay, you gotta do that. So this my baby mama number right here. 401. Yeah. 4359. All right. I'm gonna hit you up, man. 401-4359. Yeah, that's him. All right. All right, Nick. Yeah.
All right. Does he then get off did they get off the phone with Mr. Denard?
Yes.
Dontae Denard?
The three-way part of the call ends, and it's the original call between Callaway and the defendant.
Are we going to hear Mr. Callaway come back on now?
Yes.
Talking to the defendant?
Yes, sir, that's what's going to happen.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hello. Hit the number up. You know it? 401-4359. Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Alright. Yo, don't. Yeah, Pedro got on us.
Your call has been forwarded.
Hit her back. Alright, hold on. You down?
Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
Hello?
Detective, who is the young lady now on the phone?
The woman who answered is Tiffany Price.
Hey, you know
Hello? This is Tiffany.
Huh?
Hello?
Hello? Hey, you know who this is?
Yeah.
Alright, I need you to do me a favor, man. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I need you to call your sister for me, man.
Okay, hold on.
And where the baby at? He talking?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm sending it now.
Hello? Frederick? Yo? Was she hung up? No, she said she got it. She calling on three-way. Oh. My phone face is still on now, so I don't know what's going on. You know what?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? That's y'all talk.
Hello?
Yes.
How you doing?
Okay, the person who, the female or the young lady who first said hello, was that still Tiffany Price?
Yes.
And then she said, go ahead and talk. Who's the last person who spoke that was a young lady?
The last female voice is Ashley Price.
Go ahead. So this is now Ashley Price on the phone?
Yes, they'll engage in a conversation, the defendant and Ashley Price.
Go ahead.
Fine.
You know who this is?
No. Yeah, I told you it was actually. Who is that? It's Quelo. Is Quelo? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna set my phone down.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I'll just put the phone on. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man, when you get a chance, man, I need to talk to you, man.
Okay, you want to send me your visitation?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you can come?
So when is it gonna be?
When can you come?
Huh?
I said, when can you come?
Anytime. When can I come? Anytime. Set me sometime tomorrow.
What time?
Like around 2 or 3.
I'm gonna put you down for 3.
Yeah.
You know why I want to talk to you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, not really. Tiffany just told me about the detective said something about a written statement.
Why you talking like that, man? Huh?
Talking like what?
Oh, man, come on, man. What's going on with y'all, man?
None that I know of.
Well, I'm going to talk to you. Come tomorrow, man. I'm going to put you down anyway, man. I'm going to just see what's going on.
What time?
At 3.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Hello? Yeah.
Does their conversation end at that point?
Yes.
Does he come back on now with his brother Dwayne Calloway?
The original caller, Dwayne Calloway, yes.
And did they again three-way call in Javante Denard?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm going to see what's going on with her, man. Yeah, man. Because I hope she don't keep up with the foolishness. Yeah, for real. I just need my attorney to talk to her. She just tell me the truth, man. Ain't no big deal, though, whatever she... I don't know what she got going on, man. That shit, that ain't sound right. Sound like they had the people on the phone, all type of dumb shit. Yeah, for real, man. That's probably what they did, but it ain't nothing, you know what I mean? It ain't no big deal. I'll find out, though, man. Hopefully she do come see me tomorrow. Yeah. Matter of fact, hit Pedro's phone back. Yeah, hold on. Hey, where they stay at, D? I don't know where they stay at. Yo. Hey, what's good? Yo, what's good? Hey, man, what's up with them, man? Sound like they...
So Mr. Pedro or Javante Denard is now back on the phone?
Yes.
Okay, and we heard the defendant call his brother D. Was that Dwayne Calloway's nickname?
Yes.
All right, and while we're talking about nicknames, the young lady said, is this Quelo? Is Quelo a nickname of the defendant's?
Yes.
Go ahead.
But I hit them up, man. They done called the people or something, man. Got the people on the phone, man. What's up? What's going on, bruh? They had the people on the phone? I don't know, man. She talking crazy, man. Huh? She talking about some detectives and all type of shit. What she talking about, man? No, she said she was trying. She said she was in the room. She had she said she was changing the jit, and she said she had you on speaker. She was in her room trying to change you, and she said she couldn't really hear what all you were saying on the phone. No, I'm saying. And she had just hit me up. I'm talking about the other one, her sister. Huh? Her sister talking about some detectives and statements and shit. What she talking about, man? Her sister? Yeah. Oh, about my baby mama or my baby mama's sister? Which one you want me to find that? No, I'm saying her sister. Okay. I'm like, what's wrong? So just, she talking about some statements and where she get that from? Where she get what from? Detective? Oh, man. Hey, this shit ain't good, man. What's going on, bruh? And I can't too much hear what you saying. What you trying to say, brother? Man, listen, man. Your baby mama's sister, man, was talking real retarded on the phone, B. We trying to see what's good. Just now? Just now, man. Okay, nah. Okay, well, shit, I can call her and see what the fuck they got going on. Because like I told you, we can handle this however, man. But I can call her and see what's good. She's supposed to be coming to see me tomorrow at 3 o'clock, man. I'm going to make sure she there. Tomorrow, man. She got to go to Falkenberg to come here. 3 o'clock? Yeah, I'm going to put her down for 3 o'clock tomorrow, man. Okay, true. I'm going to call her when I get off the phone and see what she talking about. I didn't even know her sister was out there with her. Yeah, man, call her and see what's good, man. All right, brother. Yeah. Hello? Yeah. I ain't see all that, man. What that nigga just had going on like he couldn't hear you, man. I ain't on that, man. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you something. I know all of them probably in cahoots. You smell me? Yeah, I ain't on that, man, at all, man. I understand that, bro, but, know what I mean, a nigga gotta see what's going on first, bro. You smell me? Yeah. You don't know foolishness, bro. Yeah. You smell me? It's like they got my life in their hands, bro. You smell me? Yeah. Some food. It's something that I can, that little shit that, whatever they got going on, it's something that I can get pushed out the way. But I'm trying to get it out the way now, you smell me? I ain't trying to wait all the way till months and months down the line to get it out the way, bro. I'm trying to go ahead and get it out the way now, bro. You smell me? Yeah, man. Yeah, cause
you have approximately 1 minute remaining.
Been on the phone 19 minutes, 21 seconds, man. Yeah, if I could go ahead and get her to talk to my attorney now and just tell the man the truth, you smell me? Yeah. All this shit can get pushed out the way right now, bruh. I can go ahead and get all this dumb shit out my way, bruh. You smell me? And going on with my life, know what I mean? Nigga won't have to be dealing with this foolishness. But I'm gonna put her ass down tomorrow, though, and see what's good, man. Yeah, see what's good, man. Up, man, and see what's good. I'm finna hit you back, though. Yeah, hit me back, man. Alright.
Detective, we heard the defendant saying for her, at least he's telling his brother there at the end, to have her come to Falkenberg Road, or Falkenberg.
Yes.
Is that where the Hillsborough County Jail is located?
Yes, that's one of the locations they house their clients.
Okay. So there's the Falkenberg Road Jail, and then there's one on Orient Road also?
Yes.
Okay. This person that we heard talking on that jail recorded phone call from the jail that was referred to as Qualo, that you know as Dontae Morris. Do you see him here in the courtroom?
I do.
Would you please point him out, describe an article of clothing?
He's to my right-hand side. He has on a white shirt with no tie.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that Sergeant Masucci has identified the defendant Dontae Morris.
Yes, sir.
questions of the detective at this time?
Question, Counsel? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Sergeant. All right. Sir, you said you prepared a photographic lineup in this matter. Was that did you prepare it yourself, or did you have someone else in law enforcement prepare it utilizing software?
I did not prepare this, I showed it.
To Ms. Keene. I should have prefaced that by saying.
Yes.
All right. Do you know who did prepare it for you?
I'd be guessing it was prepared on the 29th and the 30th of June 2010. I wouldn't want to swear to it now. I can't remember which detectives. It was developed on our squad, but I don't remember which detective.
And this was a 6-person array because we've all viewed that at this point, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you ever utilized another format for photographic identifications and lineups?
Yes.
And would you describe how that works for the jury, please?
There's another system. Well, there's really 2 other systems. One is an in-person, which we at Tampa Police do not use, and I've not used that personally. Other detectives have. The most recent system we use is what's called sequential. And what you do, instead of putting each photograph on a photograph with 5 others, you show an individual photograph sequentially. So in this case, the person in position 1 would have been shown, and then you have a separate piece of paper, number 2, sequentially. We've actually revised our SOPs based on different research, and we actually keep all of the photographs concealed and show them one at a time, reconceal the photograph shown, and then go to the next.
Okay. And do you understand the policy behind that?
Well, I've done some of I've read some of the research through the Innocence Project, and I've read some of the research done through the Chief of Police's that are now adopting it, so I do understand the suggestions of the psychology behind it.
Okay, and what is that?
Objection, relevance, and hearsay.
Sustained.
All right, we'll move on. Sir, you indicated that you recognized the voice of Tiffany Price. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you ever spoken to her face-to-face?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give us an idea of how many occasions you've had with personal contact regarding Tiffany Price?
Back in 2010, I had 2 occasions to speak to Tiffany Price. How do I want to phrase it? At the time of this incident. In the weeks that followed, I had 2 other occasions to speak to her face-to-face, and then since the development of this call, I've talked to her maybe 3 times since face-to-face. That'd be really in 2012 and 2013, beyond the time of when this call was made.
Yes, sir. And with respect to Dwayne Calloway?
Dwayne Calloway, I spoke to face-to-face on 1 occasion. My other contacts were not face-to-face.
Okay, and on that 1 occasion, sir, can you give us an idea of the length and duration of that personal contact?
I would say it was about a 35 to 50 minute encounter. He and I, in direct communications, maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. What about Javante Denard?
I've had numerous conversations with Javante Denard, probably, I'd say at least 10, if not to 15. And that time frame is from the time of this incident, the homicides, through mid-August, mid-September of 2010.
Yes, sir. Actually, Your Honor, if I may have a moment. We have no additional questions at this point, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Redirect.
Detective, the use of photo packs with the Tampa Police Department, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, other law enforcement agencies, have they been used for years?
Yes.
Okay. And have you always found them to be reliable and successful in your use of them?
Objection, Your Honor.
I think they opened the
He's asking for an expert opinion.
All right, sustain.
Okay. Have you had any problems with photo pack identifications in your
No.
experience? Okay.
No, no.
And the use now sequential, that's a policy decision made by the policymakers at Tampa Police Department?
Yes.
Not by the detectives who do the investigations?
No, we actually weren't consulted. This was a policy made above my pay grade, as they say, and we've adopted it as investigators.
All right. The one face-to-face contact you had with Dwayne Calloway, you said was 35 to 50 minutes, and 15 minutes with you going one-on-one with him?
Yes.
The other time of that, I guess the other 35 minutes or so, did you hear him talking to someone else?
Yes, we were in proximity. There were a couple of individuals we were talking to about an aspect of the investigation.
Okay.
And the majority, if not the entirety, was within earshot. We weren't doing separate interviews. That was in a group setting.
And have you heard Dwayne Calloway talk on other recorded jail phone calls, recorded from the Hillsborough County Jail?
Yes, most of my familiarity is through audio recognition through the telephone because I only had that one encounter with him.
Okay. Tiffany Price, you've talked to her several times, you said?
Yes, again, I've probably dealt with her face-to-face 5 to 7 times, and I've had telephone conversations with her.
Okay. And then Ashley Price, the individual who the defendant got on the phone with in this recorded jail phone call, you've had numerous contacts with her, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, numerous meetings with her?
Yes.
And some meetings going several hours or over an hour?
Yes.
And then Javante Denard, you said you'd had numerous conversations, 10 to 15?
Yes, I've had more face-to-face dealings with him.
And I didn't qualify that earlier. Your numerous contacts with Ashley Price were mostly in person.
Yes, probably 75% are in person.
This recorded phone call we heard was made on March 4th, 2011, is that right?
Yes.
I have no other questions at this time. I ask that the detective be retained.
We would like him retained as well.
We ask that he do remain retained.
Detective, you want him in the building?
Yes, sir.
Detective, don't.
Thank you.
We're going to break recess for lunch now. Just, you're still on the speed of the meeting. We may need you again today, so go for it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I remember the jury, it's afternoon. Let's go ahead and take our lunch recess. I understand lunch is already in the jury room, so we'll try and resume, say, at 1:15. If you need longer than that, that's okay. Just let the table know.
All rise. If you wish to take your chair.
Okay, Judge Lester, you can all be seated. Before the floor is recessed, for the record, counsel, you sent an email, I guess on the issue of allowing a witness to identify a voice. And the case, case you sent was Alvarez v. State.
Yes, sir.
It's not, there's not in the reporter system, but it's, looks like it's a 4th District case, 4D12-616.
Yes, sir. And with court's permission, I'll purge the podiums. I know I'm soft-spoken. I want
You want to say?
No, I did email that case to you. One of our colleagues had communicated that case had been ruled upon today. I believe it's, a November 13th, 2013 decision. The court's absolutely correct. It has not been reported yet. I do think it speaks directly to the proposition that a juror is in precisely the same position as a law enforcement officer making an identification from a video. I would like to certainly supplement the record with that at this juncture.
Right, I read your case, and reading the cases cited therein, specifically Ruffin v. State, 549 Southern 2nd, 250, 5th District, 1989. Also, it's cited Proctor v. State, 97 Southern 3rd, 313. And Charles v. State, 79 Southern 3rd, 233, 4th District, 2012. I also did a little research, and I will cite for the record State versus Cordia, C-O-R-D-I-A, 564 Southern 2nd, 601, 2nd District, 1990. Does the State want to say anything more?
No, Your Honor. Motions based on it?
Based upon my reading of these cases, and especially looking at your Alvarez case, it's factually a bit different. I think in Alvarez, the court pointed out that the officer or witness did not have any familiarity with Ruffin, who at that case I think was the defendant. In this case, I think the evidence in this record shows that with respect to any identification made by any of these officers was based upon, in part, familiarity with each of these persons with the identified voice and visual recognition. So
Yes, sir.
I'll abide by ruling
And we respect the court's ruling, Your Honor. However, at this juncture, the defense would move for mistrial based on what we perceive to be reversible error as dictated by that case.
I would not look for mistrial, but your record is protected.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good lunch. We'll see you, what did I say, 1:15?
Yes, sir.